If you create a fusion effect and you want it to start and end the same way, no matter how long or short that clip is, this video is for you, my friend. Welcome back to Creator Reality. Today we're going to look at the Keyframe Stretcher node in Davinci Resolve's Fusion tab. It's a neat little thing that I learned about and now you get to learn about, and it really helps out with these effects. Now, the way we're going to use it today is we're going to create a lower thirds title effect, and if you want to make it reusable and all that other stuff, click on this video here. It'll spell it out for you. But today we're just going to kind of quickly run through making this effect, and then we're going to use the Keyframe Stretcher node to make it reusable no matter how long or short it is, like I mentioned before. Let's not make this video any longer. Let's jump into Davinci Resolve and I'll show you what we're working with. Here I am. I've got a blank timeline. I'm going to go to Effects, and I'm going to go to Effects and Fusion Composition. I'm going to drag it in. I'm going to Alt mouse wheel to zoom into my clip here, into my timeline, get it on track 1. So let's press Control D. It brings up the duration screen. We want to type in 2:00. We want to make this 2 seconds long. In my case, that's going to be 60 frames. I'm on a 30 FPS timeline. Yours may be different. You may have to do a little bit of math, but if you've got a 30 FPS timeline, hey, you're already halfway there. Anyway, we now have it 2 seconds long. That is the shortest we're going to want to make it. So we're going to right click on it and say Open in Fusion Page right there. Boom. And it gives us a media out. For this, we're going to need a text and we're going to need a background. And we're going to merge them together. We're going to drag our merge output to media out. Nothing in the right viewer. Okay, cool. That's fine. Let's bring text 1. Now we see something change, right? Let's kind of scrunch this up a little bit, make room for everything. And now we can type in some text. So our text is going to be, this is a lower third title. Okay, that may be a little big. We can adjust it. We can change the font, and we can do a whole bunch of stuff here, but this is a tutorial. We're going to keep it nice and simple. We're going to lasso select those, move them up, keep things neat and tidy. Background, let's make our background a dark blue. There you go. Now we see it over here. And what we're going to want to do is add a transform after that. So we're going to click on background 1. After making room, we just drag our merge around. Background 1 selected, shift space bar, and then we're going to type in transform. It adds a transform. It's in line. See, it drags the yellow lines around with it. And we're going to change our aspect. We're just going to drag it down like this. And the transform node gives us a way to move these things around. That's cool. So now we've got a background and we moved it over and we've got our text. We want our text to end a little bit over to the left. So let's click on text 1, go to layout. We'll drag it over. If you're worried about going off the screen, just drag this window with your center mouse wheel and it'll move around. So that's where we want that. We want our background to go a little bit further, and that's cool. Now we can lasso select these two, move them over. Now what we want to do is click on merge 1, shift space bar, transform's already selected, click add. That adds another one. Now if I move my center X and Y, they're linked together. This is a lower thirds, so we want it down here, and we want to drag it right off the screen. So right off the edge. So now we have to add our keyframes. So let's make sure we're at frame 0. See, it says 0 there. If you're anywhere else, it'll tell you the frame number right over here. But we want to be on frame 0. There we are. And we will create a keyframe. And we want it to be just under a second. So we'll go to frame 29 right there. And we're going to just drag our center X over until it's in the right spot. That's where we want it. Maybe a little bit further. Yeah, that's good. Now we have a keyframe. And then what we want to do is go to frame like 32, because we were at 28, and click on our keyframe button again, which creates another copy of the same keyframe we had from 4 frames ago, which will come in handy in just a minute. And then we're going to go all the way to the last frame, frame 59, and we're going to drag our item right back off the screen. Done. So if we go back to frame 0 and we play this back, let's come up here and click fit. And then spacebar. It comes in and it goes out. Comes in, goes out. Now, we're going to stretch things out. I'll show you in just a minute. But we want to shift spacebar and add a drop shadow. And now we've got a drop shadow in here. So it'll look just a little bit better. So that's neat, right? It's all about the fancy stuff, right? Yeah. Anyway, we have our basic effect. It's got the keyframes. Let's drag drop shadow over, and then we'll drag media out over. It just gives us a little room. So now, click on the like button because you're learning stuff, right? Anyway, with drop shadow 1 selected, shift spacebar, type in key. And there's Keyframe Stretcher right there. We want to click add, and we get a Keyframe Stretcher node. So we have a source start, source end, stretch start, and stretch end. For what we have, we need to change our source end to 60 because that's how many frames we have. And our stretch start is going to be frame 29, and our stretch end is going to be 31. Remember those numbers from earlier? However long your effect takes to finish coming on screen or coming into the frame, the next frame is where you want to set that to. And then right before it starts moving off frame or moving around and ending the animation, then you want it to, you want to keep that frame number so that you can use that here. So in our case, it's 29 and 31 because we used 28 and 32. So now the Keyframe Stretcher is going to say, hey, if we make this frame longer, everything in there between 29 and 31, that's what's going to get stretched around, but the ends stay the same. You follow me? Cool. Let's go back into the edit page and we'll see it in action. So now we'll click on our edit button, and I'm going to hold Alt and make a duplicate. So I'm going to click and drag. Now we have a duplicate. Control D, just to verify, it's 2 seconds long. I'm going to stretch this out. It's now 8 seconds long. So what should happen is once this finishes rendering in the render cache, see my video on that? Now when we play it back, it's going to come in, sit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. It goes back out. Job done. Keyframe Stretcher, pretty cool, right? That was easier than you thought, wasn't it? And you learned how to make your own lower thirds text effect, right? That's pretty cool too, right? So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, boop the like button. Maybe you'll consider subscribing. Maybe you'll ask a question in the comments below, and I will answer it in a future video. I always try to get back to my viewers with answers to their questions. I love helping people out. So I hope you're having a great day. Until next time, check out this video that YouTube has picked for you. It's one of mine from my catalog. You will enjoy it or your money back. John out.